Nigel Farage, the biggest con man ever to walk God's earth. I have just found out he's promoted supporters of IRA child killers. He's supporting, some of his people are supporting paedophilia, and some of his people have spent their life in the Revolutionary Communist Party. He has fast-tracked them to the top, and some of them now been elected. Did you know he was behaving like this? Did you know these people were in the Brexit Party? I didn't. I want to tell you all about it. Join me in the Templar Report. Hello again, Jim Dowson here, guest presenter with the Templar Report. Before I get started today, and I've got very, very important subjects to go through, but I want to show you this. Look at that. You see the nice cross down here? You see the nice pommel? You call this a pommel? Here. Beautiful leather scabbard, and it comes with a belt with crosses all embedded into it, metal crosses. But let me show you this thing. Dear me. Look at this. It's full of oil because it's just been forged actually. But what a piece of kit. Now we've got some of these in again. These are real swords, they're not reenactment, they're not LARPer swords. These are actually fighting swords, and they are official Templar swords. And they come in from Toledo in Spain. They're hand forged. There's nothing like them. There's lots of Chinese copies, of course. These are the real deal. These are the real deal. And real swords are like, well over $1,500, $2,000. This thing here is how much? 600 and something? 679 with a leather scabbard and the big belt, which has got all the gold crosses like this on it. They're fantastic pieces of kit. It takes 6 weeks to make these, and that's one of the problems. So people who are thinking of ordering them, order them now because we need to put the orders in. And remember, you can pay these up. How many payments?
6.
You can pay this in 6 payments. 6 payments. Just put one payment down. Your name's on the sword. And they're all individually... I can hardly open now. They're all individually... I don't know if you can see that. They're all individually numbered, and your name is entered on regarding the number into the armoury in Roslyn, and that's ascribed to you. We would ask you, if you sell the sword or pass it on to your son or something, let us know and we can alter the record. So, as I say, 6 payments, so it's like $100. Your name's on the sword. So get busy, get ordering, and it'd be great to see you with one of these. We see you at the next meeting. Now let me put it down here because it's quite a dangerous thing. I'm going to put it on the floor because they are very heavy. Oh dear. Right, okay. Do that wee bit of advertising. And remember, like the video, click subscribe, press the bell, and you'll be informed when new videos come out. Okay, here's a very serious video. People are often saying to me, Jim, you're like the prophet of doom. Well, I'm really sorry, but everybody else is so chicken, they won't tell you the truth. So I'm going to tell you. This is mainly aimed at the British people, but I'm sure quite a few Americans, Canadians, Australians, New Zealanders, South Africans will also know about British politics enough to understand what I'm saying. There's a new party in Britain, excuse me, tickly nose. There's a new party in Britain called the Brexit Party. It's led by Nigel Farage. And everybody thinks Nigel Farage is wonderful. He's not wonderful. He's a civic nationalist and he's in favour of immigration, just not Muslims. But he's formed this Brexit party. This is unbelievable. And I know people are going to be very disappointed because we have an election in a couple of weeks and people are saying they're all going to vote Brexit party. Now, I'm not here to tell you to vote for them or not to vote for them. I'm here to tell you what they are. And then you make your own mind up. Let me read this out. I don't normally read from scripts, but I need to read this. I've called this the twisted truth about Nigel Farage's Brexit Party. And you'll know why in a minute. Nigel Farage's Brexit Party pretends to stand for the traditional values of Old England. Parliamentary sovereignty, patriotism and decency. However, no matter what you think of Farage, you would expect his candidates to condemn things like the IRA or Hamas or some of these other terror groups and child murder in places like Warrington. You would also expect them to take a strong line against child pornography, but it's not so. I know that's hard to believe, but I'm not pretending here. I'm telling you the truth, and I'll tell you who said it and where they said it, and so on. Now, just look at this. That picture is the 2 wee boys that were blown to bits, butchered on Father's Day at McDonald's because the IRA planted the bomb there. Now, it wasn't actually, the IRA ordered the bomb to be planted there. It was actually Reds. It was actually Antifa people who planted the bomb on behalf of the IRA. And two wee boys, those two beautiful wee boys you see there, I can hardly even talk about this without getting emotional, because I've got kids, I've got wee boys. And butchered those kids on Father's Day outside McDonald's. Now, as for military targets, behave. In England, Warrington's a very quiet town. To say you're putting a bomb in a bin to hit an economic or military target, the IRA tried to say, is farcical. It's disgusting. And a lot of Americans supported the IRA, having no idea what they really were. Marxist, murdering scum. And they killed those two wee boys on Father's Day by putting a bomb in a bin outside McDonald's. Now, the top of the Brexit Party's candidate list for the European election was a woman called Claire Fox. Claire Fox, if any of the older viewers will know who Claire Fox is, I know who she is. She was the cheerleader for the IRA and just about every other terrorist group in the world back in the day, including some of these mad Arab groups. And she was elected. There's another one. There's another guy called James Hartfield, one of the party's candidates in Yorkshire. And there's another one that's troublesome, Alka Sehagel Cuthbert, a candidate in London. All former members of, wait for it, the Revolutionary Communist Party and its successor organisations. Can you believe this? Nigel Farage allowed top people from the Revolutionary Communist Party not just to join his Brexit Party, but put them top of the candidates list to ensure they were elected, including people who celebrate and support the murder of British children. It's quite incredible. Now, the Revolutionary Communist Party's defence of the IRA when it was blowing up children and its journal Living Marxism, reportedly run by a Hungarian Jew, Frank Furudi. By the way, he is the husband of Anne Furudi, the boss of the UK's biggest abortion mill, but that has butchered millions of children and earned them millions of pounds, enough to buy a rambling Tudor country pile in Kent. You know, typical Marxist socialists, you know, champagne communism. They're living in a country estate with the millions of pounds that have been made from the absolute misery of other people. So, you know, here's a nice picture of Anne and Frank. Lovely couple, eh? But there's another guy, one of them I mentioned here, is a guy called James Hartfield. He said in Spiked Online, Spiked is one of the Revolutionary Communist Party sort of mouthpiece, you know, one of these kind of publications for them. And what he was talking about here was the problem of people taking issue with pornography, paedophilia, and sexualisation of children, and saying, you know, it's not good. So what he said is, what these fanatics can never do is underestimate the real motivation that they have led to an unremitting child abuse panic. Do you know who he's talking about as fanatics? People like you, people like me, who think paedophilia and child pornography is a disgusting, vile abomination. We're fanatics in his view. And he's saying that we do not underestimate the real motivation that have led to an unremitting child abuse panic. Well, I'm in a panic about child abuse, and every right-minded parent is. Because they are simply attempting to share sexual films, sexual thoughts. So we're fanatics for saying this is a bit dangerous. Hartfield also attacked the sacred symbol of our war dead, the poppy. And quite ridiculous. But again, these vile views that he's got on our war dead, on child pornography, paedophilia, the IRA, they don't seem to bother Nigel Farage. Farage has been pulled up about this, but he doesn't care. Look at this image linked to Hartfield regarding the poppy. You know, I cannot tell you how incandescently furious I am. If I had that guy near me now, I'd use that bloody sword on him, I can tell you. Farage knows this. He's done nothing. He put them at the top of the list. He put Claire Fox at the top of the list so she'd be elected. Incredible. What's wrong with Farage? Has he been nobbled or something? I don't know. But how many people watching this film right now know this? I never knew this until a few weeks ago. And I'm so flabbergasted. I cannot believe it. And I've put contacts, calls into Farage through contacts we've got. Not interested. Not interested. So let's look at the child pornography stance that Nigel Farage's Brexit Party and people have. Child pornography rather than child rape concerns Hartfield's comrade and fellow Brexit candidate Alka Sangil Cuthbert, good British name, eh? He said, or she said, I don't know what this creature is, in what world is enticing a child into prostitution or anal intercourse in any sense equivalent to kissing or looking at pornographic images? She cried in explanation as a woman when she was questioned on her views on child pornography. Well, let's be honest with this. I think we can agree that child pornography isn't as bad as child rape. I think we can also agree that production of child pornography also involves child rape. So there are many occasions when this distinction is without difference. And this is the problem. These people are saying, look, child pornography, it's not as serious as child rape. This is with these scumbags who Farage has allowed into British politics, purporting to be right-wing, when they were members of the Revolutionary Communist Party, for goodness sake. And they're saying, child pornography is not that bad. It's not as bad as child rape. How do you think they make child pornography? The kids are being raped. The kids are being raped. And these people are actually in the Brexit party. And they're going to ask you and me to vote for them in 2 weeks. I won't be doing it. I'm telling you what to do, but I won't be doing it. In a podcast interview, the Daily Telegraph's Christopher Hope asked, does this mean child pornography should be banned? Back to Fox again. I do not want to give the state and the authorities the right to ban anything on the internet. Anything. She doesn't want child pornography to be banned. And child pornography is made by children being raped by paedophiles. Yet they are the top elected official in the Brexit party is this woman Fox, who's now lifting £20,000 a month out of the European Parliament because we voted her in, doesn't want child pornography to be banned. She doesn't want anything to be banned from the internet. It's quite ridiculous. And she also qualifies that by no ifs or buts. So jihadi videos, child porn, animal porn, it's fine, according to her. And this is a woman that Nigel Farage elevated into the party, made her top of the list. So, when presented with her comments by Robert Peston last week, Nigel Farage said, I quote, she's a well-respected commentator, a clear thinker. This is what Nigel Farage said about a person more or less defending child paedophilia, child porn, child rape, the IRA blowing up children on Father's Day outside McDonald's in England. And he, when confronted by one of Britain's most ferocious interviewers, said, again, Nigel Farage, quoting him, she is a well-respected commentator, clear thinker. Respected by who? I hate her. I utterly despise the creature. And she should have been executed as a traitor in the 1980s. Or thrown in jail at least. Not put into a right-wing party and conning people to get their votes. Did you know she was a member of the Revolutionary Communist Party? Did you know she held these views? Farage did. You know, such are the candidates for the so-called patriotic and decent Brexit party. These are disgusting revelations, but they're true. Go and research them yourself. But here's 3 points worth noting. Right-wingers condemn Jeremy Corbyn for good reason. Very good reason. But we don't condemn the Brexit party for the same reasons. This is hypocritical. And the Brexit party are the biggest hypocrites of a lot. Secondly, I would advise that all Brexit Party supporters who go on about the Muslim grooming gangs, and well said, actually target their anger to people who are supposed to be on our side who are backing up the same thing. Campaigning that people who make child porn aren't banned off the internet. Who's the worst? And finally, what does the presence of those people tell us about Farage? What does it say about him allowing these people into the party and actually fast-track them, elevate them? He hasn't condemned the Brexit Party MPs who support the IRA butchering British children. He hasn't condemned the Brexit Party members for supporting paedophilia and all the other insane and filthy Marxist garbage that the likes of Fox and so on stand for. He's never condemned it. So why has Farage even allowed these people into the party, let alone push them to the top to make sure they were elected? Why, Nigel? Why have you done this? And I'm sure when this video goes out, Some crackpots will say, oh, Jim's been taken over by the Illuminati and he's trying to get folk not to vote for the Brexit Party. Again, I'm telling you, these are facts. Go and research them yourself. I'm not telling you not to vote for them, but I'll tell you something. If my life depended on it, I would not vote for the Brexit Party. Not with these Marxists on board. Not with these paedophile supporters on board. Not with these IRA child murderer supporters on board. I can't. I cannot do it in clear conscience. And let me tell you, I was going to vote for the Brexit Party. Not a chance, not in a month of Sundays, not if my life depended on it. That is the reality. And by the way, we also have another guy. He's an MP now. Nigel made sure he was elected, pushing him up the board. Henrik Nielsen, he's a Swede, he's not even British. He's recently been calling everybody a racist because some folk were criticising him, telling people to go to a far-left rally to support refugees coming to Britain. And because people complained, he called him a racist. He's a member, an MEP. He's in the Brexit Party. And there's another woman whose name, I don't know, but she's a Malaysian MEP. Again, Farage put a foreigner in to get a seat that a British person could have had. And these two people are lifting 20, 30,000 a month out of the European Parliament. Well done, Nigel. Excellent. Well, I'll tell you, you might be fooling some people, but you ain't fooling me. I know all politicians have to duck and dive a wee bit. I get it, I understand it. But when you have people who defend paedophilia, when you have people who defend child rape, and you have people who defend child butchery by terror organisations, and you have people who have spent their whole life in the Revolutionary Communist Party actually holding high positions in your party stinks and you stink. I will not vote for the Brexit Party, and I hope anybody watching this film not only doesn't vote for them, but chases them off the street if they dare come and canvass in their area. That's all I'm going to say about it. Again, stick close to God. You won't go far wrong, because men will let you down every time, because I've just been let down by a man I once admired. Thank you.
The threat is real, and we are on the front line. In a world of misinformation and attacks from the left and mainstream media, censorship, deplatforming, it is time to call out the fake news and bring you the truth. We are the Knights Templar. Visit our website and join today. We are the Resistance. Deus Vult.